he shall be entitled. Exception: unwillingness to work and not unlimited of the work. In the prescribed cases, unwillingness to work, unwillingness to work. Wages for two or more classes of work. Where an employee performs multiple classes of work within the same employment period, where two or more classes of work to which different minimum rate of wages are applicable. Minimum rate of wages is applicable. The employer shall pay to such employee the employer shall pay to such employee in respect of the time. Where an employee performed multiple classes of work within the same employment period, where two or more classes of work to which different minimum rate of wages is applicable, the employer shall be paid to such employee the time respectively occupied in such each class of work. Minimum time rate wages for these wages. Where the minimum piece rate is not fixed by the employer shall pay not less than the minimum rate. Fixing the rate of work for normal working day. No number of hours. Fix number of hours for the normal working day exclusive one or more specific interval. Rest period 1 day rest in 7 days. Payment of remuneration of the overtime day. Payment of work on the day on the rest at a rate not less than the overtime rate. The rate not less than the overtime rate. Rate not less than the overtime rate. Rate not less than the overtime rate. Payment for work of any day or rest of the rate shall not less than the overtime rate. Payment of worker of any day of the rest. Overtime rate on any day rest than the overtime rate. Modification and extent of applicability of the above provisions in specific class of work. The above provisions in relation to the following class of employees shall apply to such extent and subject to such conditions as I have described, namely employees engaged in any emergency. Employees engaged in any emergency. I'm studying for exam. Employees engaged in the work of the nature of predatory and competitive nature. Predatory and competitive nature. Modification and extent of application of other provisions in specific class of work. The other provisions in relation to working class of employees and apply to the extent subject to such conditions. The above provision in relation to the following class of work, following class of work class employees engaged in any emergency, employees engaged in work of the nature of predatory or complementary work, employees engaged in emergency, employees engaged in the nature of predatory or complementary work, employees who are employed in essentials or implement, employees engaged in any work which for technical reasons has to be completed before the duty is over, employees engaged in any work which could not be carried out except at the time of dependency. Except in the time of dependency. Employee engaged in a work which could not carry on except depend on the irregular action of the natural forces. Employees engaged in any work which are for technical reasons are completed before the duty is over. Employee engaged in any work which could be carried out except any time depending on the irregular work or action of natural forces. Wages for overtime work. Any work performed beyond the prescribed hours of the normal working hour attracts wages for overtime shall not be less than the twice of the normal rate of wages. Minimum wages may consist of basic cost of living. Basic plus cost of living equals to basic wages plus allowance to adjust for inflation. Basic plus cash value of concessions. Basic wages plus value of essential commodities supplied at concessional rate. All inclusive rate. Basic wages includes cash cost of living allowance including cash value of concessions. Cash value of concessions. Cash value of concessions. Cash value of concessions. Any work performed beyond the prescribed hour of normal working days attracts wages for overtime shall not be less than twice of normal rate of wages. Normal rate of wages. Employment engaged in any emergency, employment engaged in work of any nature of predatory and compensatory work. Employee whose employment is emergency competency work. Employee engaged in a work which could be except any payment of wages, mode of payment of wages. Payment of wages. Mode of payment of wages. Permissible of payment. Online mode may be mandatory of payment mandatory. Permissible mode of payment. Currency coins, currency notes, check, crediting in bank account. Crediting in bank account. You currency coins. Permissible mode of payment: currency coins, currency notes, checks, crediting in bank account, and by electronic mode. Permissible mode of payment. Online mode of payment mandatory. Appropriate government by notification shall specify certain industries and employers shall pay wages only by check or crediting wages in the bank account. Wages in the bank account. Fixation of wage period. Every employer shall fix the wage period for employees either as daily, fortnight, 2 weeks, permanently or weekly. No wage period shall exceed 1 month. 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 Every employer shall fix the wage period for the employees either as daily, weekly, fortnightly, monthly. No wage period shall exceed 1 month. No wage period shall exceed 1 month. Time period for wages. Time daily basis. On the daily basis. Daily basis at the end of the shift. Weekly basis. Last working day of week. Fortnightly basis. Second day after end of fortnight. Monthly basis. Seventh day of succeeding month. Seventh day of succeeding month. Payment of wages on removal or termination. Removal or dismissal for services due to closure of the businesses within 2 months. Within 2 working days. Within 2 working days. Retrenched or has resigned for services due to closure of establishment within 2 working days. Retrenchment or has been resigned from services or become unemployed due to closure of establishment. Appropriate government may specify any other time limit. This section does not override any other law. Removal or dismissal. Removal or dismissal from the services. Removal or dismissal from the services. Retrenched or has been resigned from unemployment. Retrenched has resigned from services become unemployed. Shall be payable to him or during the closure of establishment. Removal, dismissal, retrenched or resigned from the services or become employed due to closure of establishment within 2 working days. Appropriate government may specify any other time limits. This section does not override any other law. Deduction which may be made from wages. Employer cannot deduct anything from the wages except what specified allowed in the wage. Allowed notice. Any payment made by employee to employer. Any payment made by employer on his agent is treated as undisclosed. Reduction from wages if done properly and government notification following are not treated as reduction. Following are not treated as reduction. Any payment may be made by employee to employee and the agent is deducted deduction. If done properly and paid as per the government inflation notified following are not treated as reduction. Withholding of increment or promotion. The reduction to lower post or time step. Suspension, lower post, or withholding of increment or promotion, resulting in loss of wages for the good and sufficient cause. Permissible restriction from wages. Permissible deduction from wages. Fine. Absent from the duty. Salary can be deducted. Damage or loss of the goods to the employee. House accommodation amenities like electricity, water, recovery of loan, advances like salary allowance, travel allowances, overpayment adjustment, welfare loan, funds, householding house accommodation amenities like recovery of loan advances like salary allowance, travel overpayment of adjustment, welfare loan funds, house building loans, statutory reduction like income tax, court order reduction, social security contribution like PF, pension fund, health insurance scheme, cooperative society payment, trade union membership fees with railway specific laws like fake currency, accepted failure to collect railway charges, and contribution of provident fund to PM, the National Relief Fund or other notified funds with the return authorization. Railway specific versus total deduction. Total deduction in any wage period not exceed 50%. If reduction exceeds shall be recovered in prescribed manner. Excess beyond 50% cannot be deducted in the same wage period. Usually it may be recovered in subsequent wage period. The employer deducted amount but fails to deposit it in the account to trust or government or any other shall be responsible for such refund. Fine shall be imposed on the acts. Fine shall be imposed on the acts. Fine shall be imposed only on the acts as an issue, and this part has the employer with the persons who are not eligible. Fine shall be imposed only for the acts or omissions expired within the previous approval of AG. Acting on the issue and by expression of the notice shall be received on premises in which employment is carried out and reasonable occupancy. Employment. A reasonable opportunity of being shown cause against the fine shall be given. Next. Max ceiling of the fine shall be 3% of the wage period. No fine shall be applicable on any employee who is under the age of no fine for the age of 15 years. Enforcement of fine shall be on the day on the act of omission. Further fine shall be done before 90 days. Imposition of fine shall not be recovered in installments. all fine. Position of fine shall not be recovered in the installment. Declaration of absence of regarding the register of client and utilization of registration. Ground of the action and it is absent. Required to work absence may be all a part of the period. Definition of reduction. Reduction must be proportional to the period of absence. 10 or more employees in some connected reasonable. Up to 8 days in lieu of notice. Strikes are punishable refusing to work. Yes, refusing to work. Refusing to work and persons to stay and strike without reasonable. National laws and international laws could be done. Action shall not be done without the giving opportunity of short. The restriction is the wages in the respect of house accommodation. Shall not exceed the amount of the given. Shall maintain services subject to money. This is not a type of government restoration. Eligibility of the employee to receive bonus. Every employee fulfilling following conditions shall be paid bonus by the employer who is drawing wages not exceeding the amount. Who work for at least 30 days in an accounting year. Minimum bonus to be calculated shall be 8.33% of the wages earned or principal under which year is higher. It shall be payable whether or not the employer has allocable services or not. Bonus or higher wage employees. Bonus for higher wage employee. For the purpose of calculation of the bonus, while the wages of the employer is so determined by the government. Maximum 20% of the wages. Productive function. The share is high. Bonus, gross profit, banking of calculation of allocable available surplus gross profit. Depreciation, direct tax payable, some prescribed by CG. Depreciation, direct tax prescribed by CG. Direct tax in respect of gross profit for immediate previous years. Direct tax in respect of gross profit are reduced by the amount bonus for immediate previous years. Allocable services for banking company. Allocable services for banking services 5% for the possible. The previous year or was perfect for reduce of the amount of the bonus for amazing. Allocable surplus minimum bonus. For other establishments 67%, banking company 60%. Calculation. The allocable surplus is less than minimum bonus. 1.33 or 10%. Allocable surplus is more than maximum surplus than 20% again. Calculation of allocable surplus. Depreciation, direct tax. If a year allocable surplus is more than bonus payable, the extra amount is second. Carry forward 4 accounting years for paying 4 years of paying bonus. Years of paying bonus. Carry forward maximum 20% of the total salary. Employees that year. 20% of the employees that year. If an year allocable surplus is more than bonus payable, the extra amount is set on and carry forward for accounting years for paying bonus. Carry forward maximum 20% of the total wages salary. To reward employee, return surplus is sufficient. It is agreed that using Chinese small surplus and surplus. Every year allocable surplus is calculated and if it is deducted. Excess of seventh year excess of deficiency sixth accounting year. Normal ratio profit. For the first 5 years, calculating problem, carry forward, deduct carry forward or depreciation. Proportionate reduction in bonus in certain cases. portion reduction in bonus is certain cases where the employee has not worked for all minimum bonus shall be proportionately reduced. The provisions of the proportionate reduction that only is higher than 8.83% salary worked in that year. Computation of number of working days. Deemed working days shall include he has been laid off, he has been on leave with salary or wages. He has been laid off on the leave with salary or wages absent due to temporary disablement. Excellent approach out of employment harassment, maternity leave. African employment shall not be considered. Disqualification of bonus grounds of disqualification: fraud, traitorous, violent behavior, theft, misappropriation or sabotage of property, convicted for sexual harassment. Fraud, convicted for sexual harassment, theft, misappropriation, fraud or violent behaviors. Establishment includes department, undertaking and branches. Treatment of principal branches of the establishment for bonus. Establishment includes department and undertaking branches. When establishment consists of different departments and branches, those departments undertaking branches shall be as part of the same establishment of participating in bonus under this code. Fitting of bonus under this code. Computing of bonus under this code. Consists of different departments. Establishment includes department and undertaking and branches. Treatment of multiple branches. Treatment of multiple branches of establishment for bonus. Establishment consists of different departments of undertaking of branches. Those departments undertaking branches shall be treated as part of the same establishment for purpose. Treatment of multiple branches. Department undertaking branches shall be treated as part of the establishment for the purpose of computing the bonus under this code. It shall be considered separate balance sheet. Separate balance sheet. Within loss amount. Maintenance of branches undertaking. Adjustment of customary or interim bonus against bonus payable under this code. Employers shall include, the employer shall be entitled to deduct the amount of bonus payable under this code. Amount of bonus paid to the amount of the employee project customary bonus. Puja customary bonus past paid bonus. Deduction certain amount of bonus payable. Deduct the amount of loss due to misconduct or financial loss. Guilty payment of bonus. The bonus be credited in the account. The employee within account of employee within a period of 8 months from the closing of accounting year. The appropriate governance is prescribed up to 2 years. May be extended to time for payment of disputed bonus shall be paid within a period. The bonus shall be paid within a period of 1 month from the date on which the award becomes applicable to the respective. When there is a dispute related to the bonus, the employer shall be paid within 8 months from the company. Applicable of the chapter when installation in public sector is incompatible. Installation in private sector employers income from the such sale outcome. So, person 20% of the installation by public sector using the people within installation by private sector. Income from such sale is not less than 6. Income from employees of LIC shall not apply to employee of LIC, dock worker, employee of LIC, dock worker, employee of LIC, seamen under Merchant Shipping Act. Employees of LIC, seamen under Merchant Shipping Act, dock worker, employees employed by Institution Authority, any department of CGSG or local authority, employees employed by the Indian Red Cross Society, university and other educational institutions including hospital, chamber of commerce, welfare institution established, not for profit. applicability of this chapter. Employees of LIC, employees of LIC, employees of LIC.